Welcome back to FMall. It's me, Anwar. If this is your first time here, FMall is on one hand a nod to the James Baldwin quote you saw on the intro. On the other hand, it is my commitment to keep you no longer than 15 minutes. I'm going to talk about some stuff happening in DC, talk about some stuff happening here in Nevada where I live, and hopefully I can make you a little bit smarter in under 15 minutes. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get to it, shall we? So, WNBA season is over. MNBA season is upon us. I don't have a whole lot to say because if I'm being all the way real, I don't watch the MNBA as much as I watch the WNBA. I'm okay with that. I am a Cleveland Cavaliers fan because I grew up in Cleveland, or in Lorraine, right outside of Cleveland. And I am a LeBron James fan because not only did he grow up not too far from where I did, but for being honest, we are witnessing once in a lifetime greatness. And that's pretty damn cool. And the fact that he's achieved the things he has, a lot of people talk about, well, it took him so many years to do blah, 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 blah. Think about the fact that this man has stayed out of trouble long enough to give us more than 20 years of excellence. This man has stayed healthy long enough to give us more than 20 seasons of greatness. You got to give credit where it's due. And the fact that he is in year 22 and still performing at a high level when he's on the court again, you got to give that man some credit. It is what it is. I won't engage in comparison talks. I'll let other people do that. I'll appreciate the greatness I have been lucky enough to witness. And there's that. So let's pivot, shall we? In DC, we are headed into another week of the government being shut down. As we are heading into the end of the month of October, people are at risk of going hungry to start November. I'm going to remind you this is happening because Republicans in Congress want to take health care away from more Americans in order to give more money to billionaires and corporations through tax breaks. That's why this is happening. They rammed past the filibuster in order to confirm some nominees. They could do the same damn thing to reopen the government. The cruelty is the point. The cruelty is the point. That's why this is happening. Because at any time, they could stop this. I don't know who to tell you to call, because most of them aren't answering their damn phones. I don't know whose office to tell you to go shout outside of, because so many of them aren't in their damn offices. Shit is ugly, y'all. Shit is ugly. And the fact that people actually voted for this. Fuck is wrong with some of y'all, man? I mean, really. You tell me what's patriotic about letting people starve. You tell me what's Christ-like about letting people go hungry. You tell me what's humane about that. But they're destroying a whole wing of the White House to build a ballroom. I know there are plenty conspiracy theories and all that. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. The cover story is ridiculous enough. But that's what we're dealing with. Speaking of families and SNAP in particular, I invited a friend of mine that I know that happens to be a SNAP recipient. I invited her to join us to talk about it. And my mic is good, so y'all couldn't hear her knocking, but I think that's her right there. Hey, Kilo. Kilo says hi. I'll be right back, y'all. So, as promised, knocking at my door was my guest. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Jay. Jay is a SNAP recipient, and I invited her to join me for this episode in particular to talk about what it's like being a SNAP recipient, especially in these times, and what the effects of this shutdown mean for her and her family.
Hello, everyone. To go by Jay. It's unfortunate because as a SNAP recipient myself, my kids are affected. My daughter, in particular, who lives here. I also have my other child that lives in New York, and she's also. You know, this whole benefit was ideal for families who are able to provide for their homes, for their food and their homes. Excuse me. And so it's going to be a disaster from my perspective. It's going to be a lot of starving children, the elderly who actually rely on these benefits because once you retire, unless you have something in that's already that you already have saved for your own, but if you haven't that have been utilizing these benefits for the purpose, it's now then what? Um, I am just saddened, that a lot of families, as mentioned, but children is what I'm worried about because a lot of the schools, especially like my daughter who goes to high school, my daughter goes to SECTA, and she was fortunate to still receive free lunch there because she's a SNAP recipient. So now that's going to be also taken away. Now what? Now, me as a working parent, um, definitely, we have to step up, as well as, I was also emphasizing at my job today, like, we're able to help out families, throughout our city, all work together. Who are fortunate enough should be participating.
Wow, I don't really know how to follow that. But something that you said, and something that's important for all of y'all, she said, as a working parent. See, the problem is we've been fed this story that people who receive SNAP and food benefits are lazy and stay at home and things like this. And that's not the case. A lot of these, the majority of the people receiving SNAP and food benefits are working.
Yes, it's just an extra help. It could be as little as $25. We just had to provide our income, and even though we may not be in that racket to receive the full potential benefits out of the SNAP, but working parent as myself, any help is any kind of help that's appreciated. And so that's something that I had for my daughter. Like my daughter was receiving, because she's under 18, and she qualifies for Medicaid because she's a resident. She's a child resident here in Nevada. So therefore, anybody that's legal resident here in Nevada under 18 are eligible to get free Medicaid. Um, so as long as I fall into that category, of course, I don't go over the thresholds because everything is all about thresholds. And so, but yeah, any help that's provided is very appreciated. That's even as a working parent.
Um, I do have a question, and it's okay if the answer is I don't know, because at times, the deeper I get into trying to answer this question myself, I find myself arriving at here in Nevada, what would you say? What would you say you wish you saw our governor or our legislature do in response to this coming problem? What would you like to see them do?
How can we move forward and be able to provide, our recipients here in Nevada that are in need? Like we need something. They just can't be left flat, like flat with nothing. And so that's what I want to see. I want to see our governor somehow make some positive changes. I've been living in this state now for the last almost 9 years in November, and so there's been nothing. There's been no change. And so, with our new governor, that's that we're about to elect soon, I'm pretty much hoping and praying that they'll be able to make some change that actually make a difference, especially for our urban community.
Told you I wasn't gonna keep you super long. I've always promised y'all I wasn't gonna keep y'all longer than 15 minutes. So thank you so much, Jay. I appreciate your time. Now that Jay is gone, you see my co-host has made his way back into the studio. What's up, buddy? Right now, I want to remind all of you to follow the people at Nevada Megaphone. It's not even about staying plugged in because of 2026. I could talk about that enough. But it's about staying up to date, especially as these times get hard, because the people at Nevada Megaphone are sharing places where you can go if you need food, if you need assistance. So they'll be sharing these things. So make sure you follow them. Also, make sure you check out whereislombardo.com. There'll be information there as well, not only regarding our governor, but regarding how to get help if you need it. Look, y'all, right now is a time for kindness and looking out for your neighbor. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, community is all we have. So I encourage you, follow my folks at Nevada Megaphone. Make sure you visit whereislombardo.com. If you need help, there are places where you can get it. If you need food, there are going to be places where you can get it. So make sure you stay informed. And hey, maybe you don't need anything, but you might know someone who does. So if you happen to be on social media and you see a post, be sure to share it because you never know who you might be helping. So I want to remind y'all, drink your water, brush your tongue, watch your goddamn mouth. I'm Anwar. I'll see y'all next time.